we are at the stage. There's 4 teams left, and I want to ask you about the 4 teams. Start with France.
Yeah.
They play Belgium.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night in the first semi-final. Where would you start with France? Well, let's start. I was talking to Liam Brady on Saturday. We went to have a bite to eat or a drink, and it was talking about Mbappe. And he says, I think you might be wrong. He said, I think we might be getting carried away with his performance against Argentina, where his power and his pace, shredded them really.
Yeah.
He said, let's wait and see. And I think he said that in the context of the game that followed, where Uruguay, where they had really tough defence, and a defence that's that deep. Your impression of Mbappe?
Well, first of all, I'd be like you last week. I thought you went a little bit overboard. I went a little bit overboard.
Yeah.
On one match.
Yeah.
I think he's a terrific prospect.
Yes.
And I think he's the best prospect in the World Cup.
He's very exciting, isn't he?
Yeah.
When he's on go.
But he's playing out of position as well.
He is, yeah.
You see, this is again gets back to management. He's playing wide on the right.
Wide on the right, which is not.
It's not his game.
I don't think so. No.
He's a centre forward. Him who can go whatever he wants to.
He might also be, if he was wide on the left, coming in on his right foot. I think he might be better.
Yeah, it might be, but it's.
Do you think he should be a centre forward?
Yeah, a centre forward gives him freedom to go left or right in certain situations. When you run on the right wing, you're
He's
restricted.
never played as a centre forward, John. He's always played wide for Monaco.
Has he?
Yeah.
I thought, okay.
No.
Then I'm wrong on that.
He hasn't played there, and I don't know. It doesn't mean at 19 you can always adjust, but it's quite an adjustment. He's played as a wide player for Monaco, for France, and for PSG, and of course, there was something breathtaking about his performance against Argentina.
Yeah, I think he's terrific. I've seen him a little bit in France. I think he's a terrific prospect. I think he's definitely the best prospect that we've seen in the World Cup.
Now, does he need... he's playing in a very weak league for PSG, who are dominant anyway, with Neymar in the team, Cavani also in that team, Thiago Silva as well at the back, who's past it now, but he's still a very experienced player. Now, they win the French league by a long way distance, and a lot of their games are against very poor teams. To develop as a player, does Mbappe need to go and play in the Premier League or in the Spanish league?
Well, I think eventually, Eamon, because
better, surely.
But you see, if you're playing against a poor opposition, as you say, then they should be playing brilliantly every week. In other words, it doesn't stop the player doing what he does because you're playing against weak.
No, but
take advantage of it.
I think you can develop bad habits playing against poor teams.
Well,
things you wouldn't get away with if you were playing against stronger teams.
Yeah, but that's a possibility. But the top players don't do that. Top players do what's needed to be done on the day.
Yeah.
Now, like you can go to Neymar and say, well, he's playing in a poor league. But I think there was a transition, if that's the right word, in his brain, leaving from the time he was 4 years ago when he was a young fella, he was really doing his stuff. Somewhere along the line, and it's particularly when he left Barcelona, whether it was his agent or whether it was his father or something, said, look, you've got to change your attitude. Right? Now, I'm only assuming this. I want you to be more spectacular. I want you to be better known. I want you to be on
social
Twitter,
media,
social media, all the various things that he has done in the last couple of years. I mean, as a player, he was making good money at Barcelona, and he's learning his trade in the top league. Yeah, right. He's got Messi. Messi's going to retire sometime. There's a possibility he would take over, and Suarez and all that. He changed that to go to. Why did he go to Paris Saint-Germain?
Well, I tell you why he went to Paris Saint-Germain. The transfer fee was 220 million euros, and I would say I think his father was his agent at the time. He would have got a huge chunk, maybe anywhere up to 20-30 million. And at Barcelona, as you rightly say, he's playing with top players in a good league, good strong league, and in fact, against PSG, when Barca were 4-1 down after the first leg.
He did his stuff.
He did his stuff big time in the new camp, and that would have impressed PSG. That's why they wanted him. But the man who did his stuff and won that game and got Barca back in, and in fact they won the tie in the end, the man who did that no longer exists.
No,
because afterwards he's gone.
That's what I'm saying. Why did he go? Why does he go to, like, if you like,
money, John?
Well, but I always, well, in my opinion, again, it's only my, great players want to be great players.
Yeah.
And what I can't understand, what he was probably badly advised that, if he's learning to be a great player and he's earning good money at Barcelona, do it, and you'll make more money in the long run. Yeah. I know it can be a temptation, but for great players that I ever knew, money was never the real goal. It was, you want to be a great player, you want to emulate the people that you were your heroes over the time. And of course his father, I don't know for what reason, but I think there was a change of plan in the time that from 4 years ago to going to, and not to his, maybe to his good financially, his bank balance would be a lot better, but as a player, no. On
the basis of his World Cup performance, you could almost say that the fire isn't in the belly anymore. He spent up to before the last game a start came out 13 minutes on the ground during the World Cup, diving, cheating. Actually, in the game against Belgium, he almost equalised, and Courtois made a brilliant save with a minute or two to go. But really, he looked a shadow.
I would say the last 10-15 minutes of the game against Belgium, he actually was the Neymar that he should have been from the start of the competition. At the start of the competition, he was out to do his tricks and be all the various things that you should be. You know, the American writer said once, coach said one time, you're too busy learning the tricks of the trade, you never learn the trade. And he got to, I'm going to be the man, but I'm doing a few tricks instead of getting on with doing the real business. I think we saw 15 minutes of him, to be fair, against when it was
needed.
Too late.
Too late. Is there a way back? Once you develop that other mentality that he's now trapped in, if you like, is there a way back to being a good pro short of going to a club where good pros are in the ascendancy and they put manners on you? Or is there any such club at the moment? I
think that well, we don't know what he's like, Emmett. We don't know what his advisor like. But if he wants to be a great player, which I'm sure he does or did, then he's young enough to do it. What is he, 26 now?
26.
Right. Should be I think he could say, sit down, whoever is with, whether it's his dad, who's ever influenced him.
I think he's a new agent now.
Right. I don't want to go that way. Right. I've got the money, but I was terrible in the World Cup. I made a show of myself in it. I want to be a great player. Right. I've got my money now. Right behind. Forget about that. I don't want that anymore. I want to be a great player. Right. Because they talk about him going to Real Madrid, isn't it? You know. So it's not too late for him. But he has to see where he wants to be. Really see where he wants and get the right advice. Somebody has to tell him, or he has to come to that conclusion himself. And it's staring him in the face. If he continues the way he's gone, he'll be a joke of a player.